Governance framework is a really important topic. And what is governance really? It's just a fancy word for saying, how are we going to make decisions together? If it's family governance, how do we make decisions together as a family? And how do we establish a framework now, while we're all holding hands and singing Kumbaya, that will guide us later when we're at each other's throats? And it's not a joke, I've seen that happen. So how do we establish a framework today that we're going to agree to be governed by? It's kind of like when two business partners go into business together and they enter into a buy-sell agreement. And when they enter into their buy-sell agreement, they're both going in thinking, well, you know, it's possible I'm going to be the exiting partner, so I want to make this fair for both of us. And that's sort of the way it works with a governance structure. A governance structure of a family enterprise could be bylaws, or it could be an operating agreement. A governance structure for a family itself might be a mission, vision, and value statement. It might even be bylaws, or it could even be a constitution in the way that a country has a constitution. So it starts with the broad framework, and then you get down to the nitty-gritty. And again, it's important to at first start with the broad framework, the broad values. What do we stand for? What are our guiding principles? What is the thing that's going to sustain us when the chips are down? And then you get into the nuts and bolts of it. And in getting back to the notion of bringing along the next generation, or the rising generation rather, give them a seat at the table, even if they don't yet have a vote, and even if they certainly don't yet have a veto, at least give them a voice. Give them the sense of contributing to that governance structure, because after all, how do you expect anyone to be guided and governed by something if they didn't have a hand in creating it? So give them that voice. Maybe even if you've got younger cousins, create a junior advisory council, a junior advisory board that gives guidance to the actual board of the enterprise.